Yeah. So in preseason, they made a lot of changes to. I don't want to say a lot. They made some changes to lane XP and jungle XP. Now I don't know how much you've noticed these changes, but for me, the jungle and bot lane changes have actually been quite impactful in like the levels specifically, which is
Yeah, when I get a head on jungle, it's over. Like, it's insane. We were playing that game today where I was on Olaf, and like the enemy Tryndamere jungle was just not very good. But like there was a point where I was just like 4 levels up on him, and there was no shot he could get back in the game because he just like I could just get the like I got a level lead, and you're able to snowball it so aggressively by just walking into their jungle, taking their camps. Because if you get the jungle XP lead, you can translate that into fights with the enemy jungler, invades much easier, and it just snowballs in an absolutely crazy way.
But
It's so wild.
they removed ketchup XP, which is the big factor for
That's what I'm saying.
behind.
Like it's super insane. Like if you get a lead and you know even a little how to counter jungle, like you can just end the enemy jungler's game.
So, but you do have to really press your lead. You can't just let it slide and be at the same level because they increased jungle camp spawns and they didn't decrease their XP by too much, I think. Mm-hmm. So it makes it so if you hyper farm, you can get back into the game, but it's also not as advantageous to hyper farm versus gank and farm. Like I think the best champions right now are champions who have a good balance between gank power and farm power. That's why champions like Jarvan and Zac to me seem pretty strong. Olaf is very strong. Echo is very strong.
Yeah, all these champions have insane clear speeds, or really good clears, especially early, and have really good ganks and damage in the mid to late game, or tank in the mid to late game. And like those junglers, it feels like it's really hard to lose your lead on. Like you have to really fuck up.
Early full clear seems to be a pretty.
It's so easy.
It's not that it's easy. It's a growing it's the growing meta. Like
well, you get so much, right? Like if you full clear, you're basically like almost 4-4.
I'm not just talking about full clearing. I'm talking about full clearing sub 330, sub 315.
And that's what I mean.
Right. So
that's what I've been doing. Like you go red, Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Blue, Gromp, and then gank, and you're like level 4, and you have like a level lead on a lane. Yeah, basically.
Then you can gank or you can do scuttle depending on.
Or you can do scuttle if you're low, and you do scuttle, and then you're like 4.5. You walk top or mid, you have a fucking level lead on the mid solo laner, and you clap them. All right, it's or you go into the enemy jungler, and if the enemy jungle didn't do the same full clear, you have like a 1 level lead on them, and you clap them, right?
So
it's super good.
It seems like jungle is getting decided early, and focusing on Drake also helps because being a higher level makes taking Drake easier. So
literally, I do most of our games together. Is I full clear, gank top or mid, recall, rush the Drake. I'm level 4. I take the Drake with 2 smites. It's mine. One clear, 1 recall. You can just take the Drake on spawn, and like that's insane.
I think most junglers can do Drake at level 3 with 2 pots and 2 smites, easy.
Yep.
I don't know.
Level 4 guaranteed.
Yeah, what level 4? Like it's not even a challenge. So. The Drake priority is insane. Like junglers have a lot of there's a really high bar of skill that you need to do jungle right now, and you can't really be lazy about it. You can't just get to level 3 then gank like you used to. Like now you need to be able to hit level 4 before you
unless you're on like a crazy gank heavy champion.
Yeah, unless you're playing even Rek'Sai's a heavy farmer too.
Rek'Sai, I find that on Elise I like to get a gank in early at 3.
Elise would be a gank.
On Elise I would be less likely to full clear and more likely to like buff camp, buff gank.
I would rather full clear one side, gank, full clear the other side.
Yeah. You know, it depends upon what the lanes are.
That's an old strategy.
Yeah. It depends upon like what the lane positions are. Like sometimes your bot lane's just shoving, and so it doesn't make sense to like full clear bot side and like
if you're gonna gank bot, you should do 2 camps, not 3.
Yeah. Like red Krugs gank, but like I don't know, it depends. But like there are some champions I'm a little more likely to do, or even if I'm not more likely, I'll just be more willing to. Like even though Zac's full clear is super easy, if I'm like not quite finished full clearing, but I see like an easy E, I'll just take it. right? Like, because it's so easy to go in and come back out. I tend to want to gank a little more on like Yi or Kha'Zix if I'm picking like that, just because like Kha'Zix, I just want to get kills all day.
Kha'Zix, I would mostly be trying to objective control. At least for me, that's how I play Kha'Zix. I don't try to gank.
I don't play a lot of Kha'Zix. Kayn, I tend to gank early.
I played a lot of him last year because I had the championship skin.
Oh, it's true. I tend to gank early a lot on Kayn just because I want to start snowballing red or blue form, whichever one I want to get. So like the sooner I can get to those orbs, the better.
Kayn has,
but
his full
clear, it's not even a problem because if you choose to full clear, you're still just fine, right? Like
the first
full, like it'll delay your first full clear is fine, but then after that, I'm tending to gank more than focus on farm, just because unless the enemy jungler is melee or range, depending upon what I want to transform it to. If they're melee and I want to be red, then I'll live in their jungle, farm their jungle, and fight them. If they're ranged, which is really rare, fight them there. But do you know if Elise changes orbs based on her form?
Yes.
Oh, nifty.
I'm pretty sure all form changers do that. All right. So, what have you noticed about the lane XP changes? Because I touched on a little bit where the bot lane seems to be lower level than they were before now. Like, it's a lot more common to see 3-level disparities on a single team, whereas like in the past it was like if there was a 1 or 2 level disparity, somebody was pretty behind in their lane or something, or somebody got really far ahead.
It would feel like early to mid 1 to 2 levels for bot lane was normal because of the shared XP. Unless your support was roaming a lot, then your AD would catch up, your marksman would catch up, but your bot laner, I guess, technical term, but just because we can, I don't know, whatever. I do notice it. I noticed that a lot of times, and one of the reasons I stopped playing marksman or bot lane so much was like, it would be like I was going even or slightly winning my lane, and then the enemy jungler was 3 levels up on me and could 2-shot me. Right? Like it's insane.
I've been noticing the jungle's actually below bot lane. Even if they're doing, if everything's even, the jungler feels like they're either even or below.
When I'm saying even, I'm not talking about team even. I'm talking about like bot lane even. So, like, if I'm level 4 and the enemy ADC is level 4, like, our junglers are, like, level 6, right? And, like, that falls off in the mid-game or, like, towards the end of laning phase. But early on, if a jungler knows how to gank bot, they're usually going to be a level or 2 up pretty early. And it just fucks you. And you feel, like, really unimpactful. And then that death turns into, like, a 2-level disadvantage in your lane, basically, and you just die. Right, like I find that happens. I do find myself down in levels more generally, and then even if you want to replace like the down in levels to the jungler to the down in levels, like oh cool, like the enemy mid laner all of a sudden has a 3-level lead on the bot lane, and they're just gonna walk bot and 2-shot you with R when you're level 4, or like if you're level 6, they're level 9, and they're just destroying you, and it feels like now you don't just have to wait for items as a marksman to be impactful, but you also have to wait for like the levels to even out, which takes fucking forever, which is unfortunate. But
I mean, as a solo laner, the XP differential is pretty good now. I feel like it's definitely helped Kale be a lot more relevant in the game, and Kassadin too, as I've been playing a lot of Kassadin. Because
I've noticed
they have crazy 16s, both of them, and a Kassadin versus Kale game is quite the game. Because dear Lord, do you have a timer that is going to make that game a show? Oh man,
good or terrible, yeah.
Whoever hits 16 first better start focusing the other one and killing them on repeat. Otherwise, they're gonna lose that game.
Yeah.
So, I like the disparity between roles now. It feels like each role has its own job that it's doing more uniquely. Whereas before it felt like everyone was just kind of playing to scale the game, and now there's a reason to put someone in a solo lane because you want them to gain levels faster. There's a reason to put someone in the bot lane because you want them to gain gold safely.
And the only issue I have with it is that in just like most games, your marksmen feel so useless unless they get a huge early lead, because like most solo queue games I see don't actually go to 40, right? So your marksman is And like, yeah, we'll talk about it later. Like, yeah, Stormrazor's fucking overpowered, right? Like, there are some really busted
It's
ass
just the
crit
slow.
builds.
Let's be honest.
It is just the slow, but it's also like Stormrazor triple crit cloak 100% crit at level 8 is really nuts on certain AD carries. But the levels sometimes feel like they matter more, or at least help, because I do still see, if not see more, like the 3 level up mid laner, enemy mid, so like the AD carry is level 6, the mid laner's level, enemy mid laner's level 9. Even if the AD carry is a kill lead, they're just getting eviscerated, right? And so like it feels like in solo queue, I actually, if I went bot and I wasn't with Doug, I would actually just want to pick mages because I don't feel like I'm going to do anything useful on AD carries for like a super long time.
Play Vigar bot over and over again.
Honestly, it's like literally if I go there and I'm not with Doug, I'm like, sick, let me play Syndra or Doug or Davidson, right? Like, let me just play Syndra and like I just power farm under tower, right? That's why I play a lot of Caitlyn. It's like, cool, like I'm just going to be behind everyone until I have 3 items and the levels even out, so I might as well just safe farm. Which is, to me, why the AD carries that are strong right now feel strong, except Aphelios. It's different animal. I'm talking here about like Senna, super fucking safe. Well, first of all, according to some websites, LLoLP, out of the top fucking 5 bot laners, 3 of them aren't even marksmen, right? It's MF, Senna, Cassio, Karthus, Yasuo.
Where's
Right?
Karthus on there?
He's actually very good bot. I mean, he's got a really low pick rate, like really low, but like he's got a 0.05% pick rate. But I don't know. Like I feel like I just want to be on something super, super safe and farm heavy because it's just like otherwise I'm just gonna die to ganks 4-mans. Especially with dragons being so strong, I do feel like junglers are really focusing bot a lot more. Like old Drakes, I felt like sometimes we would get fucking partied on in the bot lane, but there were at least a few games where the jungler would be camping top or camping mid, and now it just feels like there's no reason to go anywhere but mid or bottom. Like at all. Like why would I ever gank top? I'm camping mid and I'm camping bot because that's where the drakes are. Right? Like that's where all the good things are. I don't know. I'm rambling too much and not letting you talk.
All right.
It is to ask you if you want to take us on home.
I think I will. I forgot to do this at the beginning of the podcast again, but I'll do it here anyways. The podcast is moving to its own dedicated channel. If you want to catch us there, it'll be linked down in the description. It's called Legendary Podcast. If you type in that full thing into the YouTube search, it pops up. Yep. Catch the VODs there. We go live on Twitch every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's it. Have a nice day.
Have a good night.